Okay, so today we're going to be disassembling my this insectoid toe of air that I built. I'm probably going to call it like the toe of bug or something. It uses a few like Lego system pieces and is kind of like a variation on the Anika build, which I guess is like the two kind of like themes. Like these sets of mocks are kind of exploring trying to make the Anika build more interesting and trying to work in like more regular like system bricks. The actual, let's go ahead and start taking off the wings. The wings are from, I forget what it's called, but it's a Galaxy Squad bug set, and they were inspired by the prototypes for Toa Inika Kongu, where if you look at the original like prototypes for that set, they initially gave him these like little wings, and then they moved away from that and kind of like made all of the Anika builds clones. Let's go ahead and start taking off the limbs. I kept the this has the Kongu mask, obviously, and it has like the same kind of like extended, longer head uh, from the original Kongu set. I kept it like that because to me it kind of evokes like a firefly or a lightning bug. So even though that's meant to be like an aquatic feature, I think it still works pretty well for this like insectoid. Oh my god, I hope these don't break. Okay, for this like insectoid character. The feet, it's more sturdy than you might think, but this is still probably like an illegal building connection. I think the Zyglak used this similar foot structure, but but the Zyglak are combiner sets, and they're usually a little more lenient with stuff like that for them. Let's go ahead and let's take apart the arms so I can use this pin to keep pulling things apart. The shoulders are Hero Factory CCBS pieces, um, which I don't especially like a lot of the aesthetic of the CCBS and Hero Factory pieces, but I think used sparingly, I think they can work pretty well, especially when like the smoothness kind of like adds to like the idea that this is an insectoid um, uh, armored carapaced creature. The claws, you can detach this, oh, and then kind of like position the claws in different poses. So you can like put it like this to keep the claws closed mostly, or you can twist it around and then hold the claws up. I didn't want them like fully loose, like Karapar, the orange Baraki. I didn't want them like fully loose like his claws, um, just because that's annoying to like pose and stuff. Yeah, let's go ahead and take apart. I'm pretty happy with how the focus, how the Vizirac pieces, the lower arms are built around these Vizirac pieces. See, there's just like a tiny like Technic piece in there to kind of like fill up that gap. Now we can take this apart. Pretty simple, just slots in there. And this is a little loose. We'll see how it's held in a second. Okay, so this is just, I wish I remembered the name of that Galaxy Squad bug, but it slots in over these three pieces, but these pieces are like a little short. I probably could have switched. Yeah, I could have switched this out for like a different one. For like a taller one. So I'll change that for the piece count at the end. But see, this Technic flat piece just kind of like plugs in here um, on top of these three little slots. Why did I use tiny studs for this? It's so strange. Did I not have a 1x2 in this color? Anyway, they have a waist joint, which is kind of like they can't like fully stand up because of the way that the pieces interact. But that's fine. It's crazy how much adding a waist joint just adds to like the posability and the kind of like lifelikeness of a mock. So here, this ball joint piece is just inside. I have to pull this apart. And what would be the Inika chest piece is actually the back armor. And then this we pull out of here. Yeah, this second one could have been longer and would have made it more secure. And here's the lower body. I gave them kind of like a more insect-like tail, kind of like a wasp. I think they're like equal parts, like mantis, like or wasp. They don't have like a stinger because I looked too bulky, but they still kind of have like the lower body, the shaping of a wasp-like lower body, or like I think they're called acuniflies. They're like these big flies. Let's get these Borok eyes off of here. The camera always screws up when there's like so much black pieces on the screen. Oh, find that later. So basically, is the Vaki lower limbs and connected to the telemetry chest plate, and then there's a pin that runs through here, and then that connects the tail. And so we'll just go ahead and take that apart. And this is mainly to bulk out the shape of the tail, kind of hide that it's just like a hand piece connecting everything. And so here at the bottom, there's a 3-length Technic piece inside, and that's kind of like held in by these two structures. It's not a legal connection because the pin doesn't go all the way through, but it's mostly in there. So we can take this out, right? And then we can take out this little piece. And everything kind of slots off. And we can get rid of this pin. And then here, get rid of this one. And this is just a bunch of like traditional Lego pieces that are connected to each other. It uses another one of these Technic flat pieces with holes in them, which are pretty useful for combining with Bionicles. And then there's just like this in here. For the Lego system pieces, I tried to keep them in the same kind of like tan and like brownish colors. You can't really see most of them on the mock, um, but when they do peek through, I wanted it to look kind of consistent. Okay. So this is how this worked. This just kind of like slotted through and onto here, the structure. For the waist of the bug. That's hard to see what we're doing through the camera. There we go. There we go. So I'm going to find that friction extender that popped off, and then we're going to do a piece count. I'm going to guess that this is 93 pieces. We'll see how close we are. Okay, so I was a little off. We're looking at 104 pieces, and the sun went down, so I'm making do with the lighting to capture these. Anyway, 104 pieces, toe of bug. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.